This is every Boeing helicopter still flying explained, starting with the unstoppable CH-47F Chinook, the indestructible workhorse. The sky over Afghanistan's rugged valleys thundered with twin rotors. A Chinook hovered in the chaos, its rear ramp open, soldiers rushing aboard as dust whipped into a storm. Engines roared at full power, lifting nearly 27,000 pounds of troops, gear, and hopes out of the danger zone. In that moment, the Chinook once again proved why, after more than 6 decades, it's still the backbone of heavy-lift aviation worldwide. The Boeing CH-47F isn't just another helicopter. It's a flying truck, ambulance, crane, and lifeline rolled into one. Designed with tandem rotors instead of the usual single rotor tail design, it can haul loads that would make most aircraft buckle. It can lift howitzers, armored vehicles, and entire squads in one go, moving with astonishing speed for its size, cruising at around 160 knots. The F model, introduced in the early 2000s, represents the latest generation of a design first born in the Vietnam era. Boeing completely reworked the structure with composite materials, digital flight controls, and upgraded T-55G A714A engines. The result? Greater payload, longer range, and better stability in the thin air of mountain combat zones. Today, more than 20 nations fly the CH-47Fe, from the U.S. Army, which operates over 500 of them, to Britain, Italy, South Korea, and Australia. It's equally common to see the Chinook in humanitarian roles, delivering food after earthquakes, rescuing flood victims, or dropping firefighting crews into burning forests. Its distinctive whoop-whoop sound has become a signal of relief for those waiting below. And Boeing isn't done. The CH-47F Block 2 upgrade, now entering service, introduces stronger rotor blades, redesigned fuel tanks, and modular avionics aimed at keeping it flying into the 2060s. It's rare for a helicopter design to outlive entire generations of aircraft. But the Chinook's raw power, reliability, and versatility make it more than a machine. It's a legend that refuses to fade. The MH-47G Chinook, the silent shadow of SOCOM. It's past midnight in a remote desert. No moon, no lights, just a whisper of wind until a dark silhouette drops from the sky. The MH-47G Chinook, the U.S. Army's Special Operations variant, glides in low, rotors slicing the air with a deep, muffled rhythm. Within seconds, an elite team is on the ground, and just as fast, the helicopter vanishes into the darkness. If the CH-47F is the heavy hauler of the modern battlefield, the MH-47G is its stealthy twin built for shadows. Operated by the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, better known as the Night Stalkers, this helicopter is engineered for missions that official reports often call simply classified. Outwardly, it looks similar to its sibling, but inside it's an entirely different beast. Its cockpit glows with night vision-compatible displays, a digital flight management system, and advanced terrain following radar that lets it hug mountain ridges at 100 feet altitude in total darkness. It can even refuel mid-air, doubling its range for deep penetration missions into enemy territory. The MH-47G also packs self-defense systems that automatically detect and counter incoming threats, flares, jammers, and laser warning sensors that act faster than human reflexes. Every inch of this aircraft is about survival for both crew and passengers. And while the Chinook's main job is to carry cargo, the MH-47G carries something even heavier, the weight of missions that never officially happen. The AH-64E Apache Guardian, the hunter in the sky. The ground below explodes in a flash of heat and dust. A column of armored vehicles halts mid-desert as a dark shape streaks overhead, twin engines roaring, rotors cutting the air like a saw. Moments later, a laser-guided Hellfire missile slams into the lead vehicle with surgical precision. Hovering just above the horizon, the AH-64E Apache Guardian fades back into the haze. The hunter has struck. The Apache is not just Boeing's most recognizable helicopter. It's one of the most feared aircraft on the planet. Originally designed in the late Cold War to destroy Soviet armor, it has since evolved into a multi-mission combat platform that can fight, scout, and coordinate on modern network battlefields. The E model, the latest and most advanced variant, brings the Apache into the digital age. Equipped with upgraded T700GA701D engines, the AH-64E flies faster, climbs higher, and carries more weapons than its predecessors. But its true power lies in intelligence. It can control unmanned drones directly from the cockpit, extending its eyes and reach miles ahead of the front line. It's the modernized Target Acquisition and Designation Sight, Pilot Night Vision Sensor Suite, visible as the rotating eye on the nose, lets pilots see and engage targets in complete darkness or sandstorms. Its 30mm chain gun, slaved to the pilot's helmet, moves wherever they look, turning the aircraft itself into a living weapon system. Around the world, the AH-64E has become the benchmark of modern attack aviation. The US Army, UK, India, Qatar, Japan, and several NATO partners fly or have ordered it. The Apache's modular design allows constant updates, new radar systems, data links, and electronic warfare defenses, ensuring it stays relevant in an era of drones and electronic countermeasures. The Apache Guardian is more than a helicopter. It's a symbol of dominance in the skies, capable of single-handedly shifting the balance in battle. A machine that doesn't just hunt targets, but defines what it means to rule the air. The AH-6 MH-6 Little Bird. The tiny helicopter with a giant reputation. A flash of light on a rooftop in Baghdad. In seconds, a whisper of rotors fills the night as a pair of small, agile helicopters drops onto the building. One armed, one carrying black-clad soldiers. The team hits the ground running. The little birds lift away, vanishing between skyscrapers like ghosts. No fanfare. No mistakes. Mission done. Meet the AH-6 and MH-6 Little Bird, the smallest and most maneuverable helicopters in Boeing's military lineup, and perhaps the most feared by those who face them. These compact aircraft are the aerial counterparts to Special Forces operators, light, fast, and built for surgical precision. The Little Bird's origins trace back to the OH-6KUs, a 1960s McDonnell Douglas design, now part of Boeing's lineage, known for its egg-shaped fuselage and record-breaking agility. The AH-6 variant carries rockets and miniguns, acting as a light attack helicopter, while the MH-6 transports small assault teams on external benches. Yes, the soldiers literally ride outside. Operated exclusively by the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Night Stalkers, the same secretive unit that flies the MH-47GI. These helicopters specialize in urban warfare, hostage rescues, and covert insertion. Their small size lets them land on rooftops, ship decks, and tight alleys that no other helicopter could reach. Though dwarfed by the Chinook or Apache, the Little Bird is legendary among special operators. It embodies the idea that speed, stealth, and precision can outmatch raw power. In the right hands, this tiny helicopter is not a side note. It's the sharp edge of modern special operations. The Boeing Sikorsky SB-1 Defiant, racing toward the future. A streak of motion tears across a test range in Florida, faster than any conventional helicopter ever built by Boeing. The SB-1 Defiant, its twin coaxial rotors blurring into a solid disc, dives, banks, and accelerates past 250 knots, rewriting what rotorcraft can do. The Boeing Sikorsky SB-1 Defiant isn't a combat helicopter yet. It's a flying experiment, a testbed for what the US Army calls future vertical lift. The next generation of high-speed, long-range rotorcraft that will replace today's Blackhawks and Apaches. Developed jointly by Boeing and Sikorsky, the Defiant uses a coaxial rotor system, two main rotors stacked atop one another spinning in opposite directions, eliminating the need for a tail rotor. A rear-mounted pusher propeller then provides forward thrust, giving it airplane-like speed without losing the hoverability of a helicopter. In 2019, the SEB-1 made its first flight, demonstrating stable handling and unprecedented agility. It's not a production aircraft, but a technology demonstrator built to test systems, later adapted into the Defiant X, Boeing's proposed future Army assault aircraft. Where traditional helicopters push physics to their limits, the SB-1 breaks through them. It's not about what helicopters are, it's about what they will become. The CH-47DE civil variants. The civilian giants of the sky. The fire line in California's Sierra Nevada burns hot enough to melt steel. Crews on the ground are losing the battle until the sound of twin rotors echoes through the canyon. A massive Chinook, painted in firefighting red and white, drops thousands of gallons of water in one pass. Within minutes, the flames retreat. The same helicopter once built for war is now fighting nature's most dangerous enemy. These are the CH-47D and CH-47E civilian variants, retired military Chinooks reborn for heavy lift, firefighting, and disaster response. After decades of service with the U.S. Army, many of these aircraft were sold to private contractors and government agencies. Companies like Columbia Helicopters and Helimax Aviation operate them worldwide, transporting equipment to oil rigs, rescuing stranded communities, or delivering relief supplies after earthquakes. Civilian Chinooks can carry over 10 tons of cargo, sling load vehicles or building materials, and fly in conditions that ground most aircraft. Their speed, range, and ruggedness make them invaluable for remote area logistics and aerial firefighting operations from Australia to Chile. Once symbols of military might, these Chinooks have found a new calling, not to destroy, but to save lives. The same engineering that lifted armies now lifts hope. What do you think is the most important Boeing helicopter still flying today? Share your thoughts below.